Hello, everyone. Today is January 8th, 2025, and for this subject, just to get this out of the way, the title of this video is going to be called Before Trump Gets In. It's more about prediction. So, some of it may not actually come true, but one of them I lean more for, lean towards. We kind of get the point. But, just to get this out of the way, so my first prediction, right before Trump gets sworn into office, because it's being recounted for some apparent reason when we know Trump already won the election. Okay, so the first prediction I'm just going to get out of the way and say this is that Trump will likely win the White House. Like, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that man already won to the public's eye, so there'd just be no cheating or try to say, oh, like he's just unfit to do it, No, Trump is going to win the White House. He's going to win. He's going to become the president of the United States. So just don't. Well, there's doubt about it. But then again, two more predictions I have already made. But this one that I'm talking about right now is more likely. 100%. I lean this one more. For some of those who may be in doubt, I understand. But you gotta understand this. Some of us gotta look at it as like this way, It'd be way too obvious of what these crooks are doing. The very powerful people in office. Because if they just say Trump's unfit to like serve president again, to serve being president of the United States after they said the same thing to begin with, that would cause at least some sort of rebellion or civil unrest, and it could unleash some chaos in this country. And that's something that they don't want because they don't want to lose power. They want to gain it. So how would they do it when Trump is in office? Well, they're not likely going to say anything at all. They're probably most likely, they're just going to either weaponize the Republican Party by buttering Trump up, saying Canada's going to be the 51st state, which I did see this video that he did say, when Trump exactly said this in a video that, we unite Canada, we're gonna unite Mexico, which in my opinion, I think it's not right for you to be conquering land that's like right next door. I mean, what is this hypocrisy from when Russia does it? Because what they're trying to do is take Ukraine back. That's like no different than like what China is trying to do with Taiwan. They're trying to regain the states to regain power or whatnot. Please. But it's either this in the video that I will post. It's a YouTuber that was reacting to it. So go ahead and subscribe to him. I'm not saying I should get subscribers back because I don't really care for subscribers. I will always keep on saying this. I only care for some of your guys' attention. If you can't make it, that's completely fine. And I appreciate it. Because I'm already at like 309, probably 32 in total in views. Some people may say, well, that's not a lot, if you think about it. That's just like people in total. It doesn't even matter if people say, it's not very big, or, it's just, you're not going to regain popularity. I'm not trying to become famous. I'm trying to regain at least some conscience to some people out there, so that way we're not overthinking things. We're not over here trying to assume everything is going to be the way that it is. Not really. No. You gotta look at it as like this, both sides, because that's what some people that I have seen who do this kind of stuff don't interpret. They only put one side of the story, but they don't talk about the other. They always talk down on the other story, but they only talk positive on more this side. Well, that's just like the Republican Party. Do I think they're all great and wonderful? No, absolutely not. Trump is not a political opponent, is not a politician. Some people are trying to rub it off, saying that he is, because he represents the Republican Party does not make him a politician, because he's not a politician. He's a businessman. Have you ever seen at least one Republican actually that was a businessman during the 2000s? Some could argue Bush, but I really don't think so, to the point where Bush would just lie to the American people, saying, oh yeah, weapons of mass destruction. There was definitely some chemical weapons in there. because my grandfather would tell me that before the war was even announced, they saw a convoy, which they believed it possibly was chemical weapons that Hassan did use on its own people, and that's where Bush had to make the declare, which is kind of stupid because once somebody has weapons of, you say mass destruction, but you couldn't find any in the place that you say that they were to begin with, it's completely false. You know, it's either that Hassan was trying to make Bush look bad in another way. But you understand, Hassan, Bush, everyone that was sharing parts of Iraq were not in the right. Like, I know damn well the United States is not going to play it off the fact that, like, oh yeah, well, you know, we were just preserving the country. How about you just leave the country alone in the way that it is? Because I know damn well, because once someone in power, let's just say someone reckless, decides to say, we don't want to work with this. Well, that's fine. Well, that's fine. I mean, well, we're just going to charge you anyway. What if we change our currency? See? Now it's already making faces to, like, most of these business and politicians, because they can't get a lottie in countries for return. Because once they lose power, they become obsessed with it. And they want to gain it back. Kind of like what's happening with, like, the very powerful people in our office. Still, not the president. Sorry, got distracted. It's not the president. It's not your just regular politician. It's someone very powerful who is just controlling our government entirely. Like, they got the Supreme Court in their pockets. They got the lawyers in their pockets. They got the law enforcement, the military, the president. Everybody's is in control. Like, they have all that in the palm of their hands. And it's not just done by one individual. Some could argue that it is. But still, I always kept on saying, oh man, the government's fault. No, because I got to correct myself over with that. Even though I did say this before in my old videos, and I just want to remind some of you again, it is not, whatever you're seeing, like the very crookedness and the corruptness, like the corruption in America, is not due to because of a system that we all like to turn around and hate. Like, that's just like for some people who say, oh, I don't like America. Well, America's a country. Like, why are you hating on a country? Well, I don't like the people running it. Well, why didn't you say the people running it? Just like how some people just go, oh, I don't like the government. Do you not like the people running the government? Because the government is what was made when the founding fathers wanted to make the country from being independent, you know, making an independent country. So you're gonna hate on the founding fathers' work? Okay, that's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, the second prediction is they flat out do not care. Some Democrats or whoever's in charge of that, who's very powerful within the counting votes, they do not care. Kamala Harris is now the president. But why would that raise a lot of eyebrows? Well, you got to think of it this way. I just remembered something. Trump may have won the election during Biden's use in office, but the exact same thing is kind of what's happening now. Except Trump didn't win the election. Like, he won the election, but he didn't win the White House. He didn't win presidency. That's what some people are worried. That he may have won presidency, and he may have won the election, but he didn't win presidency. Which I believe that will spark a lot of controversy. Because you gotta think of it this way. These people need to stop. Like, these people, like, whatever they're doing now, they say, oh, they're unfit to be, you know, president. Which is bullshit, because these states, why do these states decide on what the president is? Doesn't we, the people, decide on who the president should be? Oh, but no, we gotta let politicians do all the work too. Please. No, that's not how it should be. They should be sticking away from that. This is the issue. Some of the bad ones who make a fool of themselves in front of television and actually still get away with it are more likely to just like I said, get away with it, but there are also more people like that who control our system. And they tell us that we're the problem. No, it's the individual's problem. Oh, we're afraid. No, you're afraid of losing power over the people. You're afraid of that. That's what happens when you gain power for so long and you're afraid of losing it. Because you're afraid that the people will be fed up one day. Just like a king in America. when we had to fight for independence. You think we want... Because imagine if we didn't fight for that, America would have been a monarchy. 100%. Which is ridiculous. Well, not the war. I'm just saying the mentality of what some of these people that are running our system and controlling our system, and they're still in there. They're 100% still in there. We just haven't had the right person to expose them. Do some of us think that Trump will? I believe he can. With that kind of mentality, he can. But I don't think that's going to be his main focus. Some people could argue, oh, but his main focus. So take back Canada, and take back Mexico, and take back the Panama Canal. No. The Panama Canal, which I done a little research on, we did do a deal with them. No, we seriously did. And I think it's kind of stupid how some of these people don't realize that the Panama Canal was kind of a joint thing between the United States and Panama. You know, it was approved by the country. But now, all of a sudden, they're saying, I don't know about this. Oh, but if it was someone different who isn't a nationalist and who doesn't have a right mind thinking, and we should totally allow politicians, a socialist in our country, they'd be completely fine with it because they're the ones who could just basically do whatever they want, but really it's just the very powerful people telling them what they need to do. You think they have any clue on how to become president themselves? Nope. It's the very powerful people that are. Some people could argue, whoa, isn't Trump the same way? No, this is what caused a lot of issues from the politicians, the very powerful people. They couldn't control him. So, during his 2016, and then obviously losing the White House, well, obviously winning the election, but couldn't win the presidency, they were spewing the same thing, including Fox News. Can you imagine this? Fox News, this is the same type of people that I am a little concerned about for what might happen to Trump. I think they are going to probably gaslight the public, the political party, as you as a viewer, who are going to act like Trump's going to do everything, do heinous things, but it's going to be for a good reason. Making him sound like a dictator when he's really not. He may have said it as a joke. He flat out said it as you could tell from his attitude, it was a joke. 100% a joke. But then Fox took it out of context and we were like, oh, he was joking at the Mar-a-Lago, but he might actually consider, because it's actually a 2025 project, that we knew that we had to pay Trump to shut up. No. I mean, that's just like trying to make a good person look bad, because that's what they're trying to do. They still don't like him. The only reason is that Trump isn't realizing this is happening due to his age and due to his mentality. They're just picking on an old person, trying to gaslight him. How do I say this? They could be 100% aware that Trump could get them for what they are, but I know at the same time they're trying to get on his good side to make him distracted, trying to act like that they're his friends. Kind of like how Kai Cenat invites all these people, and I assume, and I feel kind of bad for Kai. I know this was about before Trump gets into office. Yeah, I can look at that kind of the same relationship, where some of the people that he invite probably act like his friends because he just pays them to invite them over, or never really his friends. They never want to hang out. Kevin Hart, 100% not a friend. I know damn well that man probably only showed up just because of the money. 100%. Drewski, it's almost hard to tell. Phantom, Ray is a 100% example, But that's just besides the point. So, like I said, Kamala's the next president, but she didn't win the election, so why would people actually give a shit? Well, it's all about the mentality and to see if we allow it or not. Oh, so a state and governor is going to tell you when the whole purpose of voting was about the people and not politicians. I mean, if you generally think about it, the governors and the politicians that you have voted for are telling you Trump can't be fit to office. Can't be fit not if that was the route that they are going to. But that's not what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards Trump is going to be 100% the president. There's no doubt about it. Sorry, he already went to the public eye. Let alone think that some people would, let alone for some people to think, yeah, he's just unfit. Sorry. Oh, but he won the popularity vote out of some people's, the people's eyes. But you mean to tell me that he can't be fit? Why was he running to begin with? Yeah, we really have no excuse. Yeah, of course you don't have any excuses, because these are politicians that want to carry out a legacy. And it doesn't even matter which side of the political party, because like I said, political parties now mean absolutely nothing. It's been weaponized, both sides. Because they're just bought, paid, and controlled. Like, there's just no doubt about it. It doesn't even matter if we like to think, no, it's a political party. That's what they're trying to spew. That you need people like them in their party to represent a better life. When in reality, they result almost to the same thing. Inflation, wars, goods, yeah, still inflation, but crimes, homelessness, and they do it all on purpose just so an individual gets in. He fixes it, but why does it go back to being shit again? It's just how life works. Well, if some of you guys are going to be complaining about it, you could always go homeless, but it's not like that we give a shit either ourselves. Yeah. Trying to make you, they're just trying to they want you, for some of you, to live in this endless, we need politicians, it's the political parties that matter. No political party matters anymore. It really doesn't. But that's just besides the point. I'm just going to say this again. But a third prediction came in. Now, this may not raise a lot of attention, but this one was kind of mentioned from my grandfather. Mentioned a little bit. But then but this was also part of the prediction. What if Kamala, and if you really think about it, what if Trump and Kamala were not president? So what are you saying? You mean we get no president? No, you do get a president. You get J.D. Vance as a president. So kicking Trump out of the picture when he was the main president before, you need to tell me, he's a Republican, guys. You asked for a Republican, so we got you a Republican. Why are you guys getting mad about it? Because that's not who some of us have. Well, basically, I'm going to have to admit this for some who did vote. Some of us have already voted for J.D. Vance as well. Sorry, there was no separate sheet saying, we just want Trump. Yeah. There's basically no sheet saying that. But if we are going to get mad because, damn, why is J.D. Vance president? That's not who I voted for. Well, some of us kind of did. And some of us would be getting mad about it. So, what the hell? But then again, it'd be a pretty dick move to pull. It really would. But if that's the route that they will go, because if it's going to raise less awareness and people are less focused on, I'm worried about Kamala trying to cheat the system. I'm worried about Trump trying to become a dictator. What if they actually listened to that and said, guys, we'll get you a Republican, but it's not going to be Trump. But I strictly voted for Trump. Well, you also strictly voted for a vice president as well. So if anything happened to Donald J. Trump, which we say he's unfit to do, J.D. Vance could take the place. And it could just be some other vice president. It doesn't even matter if you guys voted on it or not. Because at the same time, that is a wrong move. At the same time as well, it was also us who fell for it to begin with. It really is. If you generally think about it, we have not actually had the brain cells to even think that our lives were just meaningless. With the high amount of taxes you need to pay. We need politicians. I heard this guy's gonna be great. If I voted for this political party, things wouldn't really make a difference. No, it really wouldn't. Because they all result in the same thing. Trump was the only one that was different. Have you ever seen Bush made friends with Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Putin? No? You haven't seen that? Because it didn't come true, because that man is bought and paid for. Now, my grandfather has told me that Bush didn't necessarily lie, which let's put it this way. I respect his opinion, but why weren't the weapons even found? Because Syria's already in a civil war right now. Basically. So, But how come we aren't, like, trying to investigate there, you know? Like, we have the power to do it. Oh, but that'd be intervening. We can't, you know, that'd just be intervening. Okay, but what happens if the war dies down? Could we try to investigate by then? Or maybe in a few years? Because let's put in perspective. If there was no investigation in Syria, and they claim to say, and some of them claim to say, well, Bush is really not a bad person. Well, if the chemical weapons or the nuclear weapons that Bush was saying was absolutely true, and they were coming from Syria, but they were labeled from Iraq, Bush was telling the truth. But if there is no weapons, Bush was lying. And it just proves my point. It proves some of us our point. It really did. But that's just besides the point. That's all 3 of my predictions. Thank you for some of those who decided to stop by and listen. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'll be posting as much, but I'll post whatever I can. It's not going to be very often, of course. There are some other things I would likely to get out. Oh, and you know the Luigi thing I was been talking about? I want to scrap that idea, and I want to break that promise a little bit. And I want to apologize for some people who did decide. Some of you may have not cared, but okay. I mean, you don't have to care, but for some of those who do, sorry to break it to you, I'm not really into that topic. But some of you could argue, oh, but I bet you'd be interested in talking about, oh, the Trump allegations, oh, the Kamala Harris allegations. But you could have been talking about anything else. You're right, I could have been talking about anything else. But I haven't been talking about anything else. It really doesn't draw the attention that I want. And like I said, I only want your guys' attention. If you guys know what that is, completely fine. That is your own choice. Because I always kept on saying, it is you, the people, that gets famous people very big in notice to begin with. And some very famous people don't recognize that as well. They always take that as an advantage to say, yeah, well, I did this all on my own. Yeah, fucking right. Even if you were good, or maybe if you weren't bad at doing it, people, like, if, let's just say everyone had the mentality that I had, no one would give a shit about you. Really. Because if you want to act like, because if some of them want to act like, oh, you know, it was me who did it. No, it didn't. It was the people that did. Ridiculous. Like, that's the issue for some YouTubers who don't recognize their own fans. Because I want to thank for some of you fans, because I will always keep on saying, it was you, and only you guys, that helped me not really recognize, and I'm not trying to get recognized. But some of you are, but you're trying to get attention, so isn't that also being recognized? You could say, but honestly, if I really cared about being recognized, I would have been posting more often, and I would have been trying to look into some trends that could have made me popular. But I just kind of want to do what I want to do, you know? That's just besides the point. Well, thank you for some of those guys who listen, and, you know, just to wrap this up, stay strong, stay healthy, stay smart, stay curious, all those kinds of things, and have a great day, everyone. And like I said, I'll see what I can do with posting more content, but that's the point. But thank you for some of those who decide to stay, and enjoy the rest of your day.